Guys, one of the biggest questions I get all the time. Right, wait, let me give the recliner couch up. Get comfy. I just lost my TV remote. It's okay. It's better. We all comfy. He sat down. I've got it all wrote down here. Right. So, before I start, people always say to me, what are you doing driving an electric car, blah, 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 blah. And I'm always like, well, you should get an electric car because it's decent. And they're like, oh, they're dead expensive, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yes, they are, but then you get extra savings and all that jazz. So I've done this video, right, just to prove. Now, obviously, electric cars aren't going to be for everyone. Do you know what I mean? But this is just another thing of reason why I'm not stupid driving an electric car, as people keep saying. Now, I'll put my car aside. Now, obviously, I've got a Tesla Model S, and is it good on a taxi? It's probably not. It's very expensive. It's 5 years old, and it cost me probably the same as a normal electric car, new. Not if it weren't a YouTuber, not like that. I'd buy obviously a different car, like a Hyundai, flipping Kia, whatever, whatever. I would have got a Model 3. They're more affordable, but it's a saloon, so it's got a small boot. It's not the best really for what I do with the airports and stuff, and you do need a bit of a boot. But yeah, the Tesla content does well on the YouTube channel, which gets in views and stuff like that. That's the reason why I got the Tesla. But in this comparison, I'm going to do it with the Hyundai Ioniq 5. And only because it's a very popular electric car in Liverpool now. You see them all the time, and a few of the lads I know obviously got them. So, I'm going to compare the expenses of a full electric taxi versus a full diesel taxi. So I obviously, as you know, I've got a WhatsApp group, members only from the YouTube channel. Now, I put a message in there, lads, when someone messaged me, I need help. And then John messaged straight away. And then I chose John randomly. I went, John, tell me what you've got driving wise and all your breakdown of your costs and stuff like that. And I've recorded it all. And then obviously I've gone with, obviously I know the running cost of an electric car anyway because I've got one. So, and that's what I said to him. So I've got all the facts and figures now. I randomly picked the diesel car out my group and obviously going up against an electric car, new electric car. Now, there's a lot of expenses that obviously are quite similar. So I'm not going to include like valeting or tolls or like, tyres or insurance. So, I'm not going to compare same expenses because the list is going to be stupid, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Both cars need tyres, both car needs valeting, both cars needs um, whatever, insurance, everything else. They're all quite similar. Do you know what I mean? Depending on obviously your driving experience, doesn't matter what car you're in or where you live, it could be the different places. So you can't compare it. So now I'm just going to compare the solid facts. Are you ready? Got me trusty piece of paper. I'll put on the video side by my head. I'm going to shake my head so I know where to add the images. So now I know when I'm scanning through the video later, I know where to add. But it's going to be on the screen for you anyway. Right. So I'm going to deal with the diesel that John's got. So he's got a Skoda Octavia. Lovely car. Absolutely love the Skodas. It cost him 16 grand when he bought it. It's an 18 plate. It's a DSG diesel automatic. Standard, good, solid diesel taxi. He pays finance £330. His tax is £20. This is per month, by the way. His servicing is £80. Now his service costs about £250, and every 3 months he gets his service done, so that's 80 quid. £250, sorry. I got the facts. It's 80 quid a month servicing, and then fuel £640. Now what we've done is we based on average. You're going to be putting around 1,000 miles a week in. So I compared, just to make the figures easier and the maths easier, I've done 1,000 miles in an electric car, 1,000 miles in a diesel. So when I asked John, I went, lad, how much does it cost for 4,000 miles in your car? Do you know what I mean? And that's where he got the 640 from. So in total, his monthly expenses for a Skoda 18 plate DSG diesel, £1,070 per month. I can't. So that's what, 250 quid a week. That's not including, obviously, all his other expenses. This is just the basics, yeah? Now, brand new Ioniq 5. Phone Sean. I went, Sean, on average, how much does it cost on finance to get one of your Ioniq 5s? And he went, about 800. Depending on like a bit of deposit, as you like, obviously, finance your diesels, he went about 800 average. And I went, okie dokie. So that's a lot more than the Skoda. Now, for me to drive, I do about 4 miles per kilowatt, similar to the Ioniqs on average, because I spoke to a few of the Ioniq drivers. And for me, if I'm just doing an Uber shift, this is not different work ethics. This is the same, just bouncing around on the general taxis or Uber. Yeah. So if I'm doing an Uber shift, I just charge at home. I don't need the supercharger. Okay. It lasts me all day on an Uber shift. When I need a supercharger is when I'm up and down the motorway doing long distance work. So this is just a taxi shift versus a taxi shift. Now, for me to do 4,000 miles a month costs me £80 in electric. So that's £20 per 1,000 mile, which works out to 7.5p per kilowatt, and I get 4 miles per kilowatt. Servicing. Now, for the Hyundais, it's a small service. It works out to £20 per month, thereabouts. And what they do is they just check on the condition of the batteries, change the filters, stuff like that. And I think it's like 50, 60 quid every 10,000 miles. And it's literally just to check up on the car, make sure it's all good. But that's 20 quid servicing anyway, on average. So for a brand new Ioniq 5 is £900 per month. So when people go, bloody hell, how can you afford these electric cars? I'm not saying it's all going to be like this. I'm not going to say it's all going to be like this. I'm just saying I randomly picked a diesel taxi driver out of my group and I went for a brand new Ioniq 5 expenses. And by my math, on average, as a guesstimate, it's £170 cheaper to be in your brand new Ioniq 5. And then the big difference as well is obviously the brand new Ioniq 5, if you buy a full electric car, the whole price comes off your tax bill, for one. It's like a benefit in kind or whatever it's called. Two, you got obviously manufacturer's warranty. The old Skoda hasn't got any warranty no more. Obviously, when you got a diesel, you've got the gearbox, you got the clutch, you've got the drive chains, you got the DPF, you got all the flipping sensors, the chains, the belts, the alternators, the whatever. The list goes on. You know what goes wrong with a diesel car. I've had plenty. Or a petrol car, right? Now, with an electric car, you have batteries, you have electric motors, you have suspension, tyres, brakes. More or less, that's about it. But your brakes, normally your car slows down with regen, which doesn't use brake pads. So technically your brakes last long anyway. So possibly it's more just tyres, suspension, and that's it. So when I've been doing a bit of research before this video, there's a few electric car owners got like 200, 300,000 miles and they're still on the original battery. They've had no faults whatsoever. The odd one has had like obviously new suspension and stuff like that, but literally bare minimum, hardly any running cost, hardly any faults. But also in this comparison, it's under warranty anyway. And most electric companies do give a good warranty on the batteries and the electric motors. So when people say to me, hey, is it worth the hassle of having an electric car when you got to like go to London and back and you got to have that electric charge anxiety and all that? And then I say, well, yeah, it is actually, yeah. Because I'm driving around in a brand spanker. Obviously, not me. I'm talking hypothetically. I'm driving around in a brand spanking car with all warranties, no stresses, no worries. And I'm saving £100 a month, a couple £100 a month. And yeah, it's a nicer place to be. But this is just obviously, once again, as you know on my channel, guys, I just share my opinion. I just share my findings. This isn't fact. This isn't like science. Do you know what I mean? This could change depending on who works what, how much the insurance is, or obviously how much he's a clean freak. Does he get his car valeted every day? Do you get me? There's so many variables when you're comparing chalk and cheese. But that's why I wanted to randomly pluck one of my drivers out of my group and just went, let's see, what are your costs? So now I know that my mate John is currently spending over £100 more than he would doing what he's doing than having a brand new Ioniq 5. So next time, please, guys, if you go to me, what are you doing driving around in a full electric taxi? Then what you can say is, I don't know why I sound from Birmingham, but what you can say is, you can say, well, I've watched Matty's video, and it makes sense. But it does, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? They're the maths. There's the maths. I've done it. I've shown you all. Now, obviously, my car's stupid. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting my car. It's a bit OTT. But if you're definitely going to go full electric, I'd definitely go for it. Like, obviously, if you're doing loads of airport work or you haven't got a driveway, there's exceptions to everything. But like, yeah, sound, mate. I think that's the video. Yeah. Are you subscribed to the channel? Because you best have be. Because I'm sharing some knowledgeable stuff. Make sure you like, subscribe and all that jazz. And I'm going back to work because I'm bored at home. See you soon.